Well, I'm still with the lighting experiments. I've got a window behind me, so and it's daylight outside, so I'm backlit. And that's probably a major mistake, so I'm probably showing up primarily in silhouette. Not side silhouette, but silhouette. So I look like one of those guys that doesn't want to be identified. Well, I don't care if you identify me or not. But last couple of videos I put up on this channel, actually I've put up 4, and one of them was the intro. The other 3 have had some connection to music. One about bluegrass, one about jazz. There was one about the reactors that I watch. But I thought, well, why not segue? This is supposed to be about things that can make life a little more joyous, a little more pleasurable. So why not segue into something else? Well, like I said in the intro video, comedy has always been a big part of my life. This is how my parents and grandparents got through the Depression. This is how I've gotten through some pretty bad stuff in my life. And, because anything you can laugh at, you can overcome. Well, there's a particular brand of comedy. And it's not usually intentional. You think about a comedian gets up, they deliver an intentional set. They get up there, they tell their jokes, they make their remarks, whatever. Or if they're a physical comedian, they make their pratfalls. But there is a type of comedy called a mondegreen. That's actually a created word. And it's created from a mondegreen. That sounds a little confusing. But the word was coined by a woman who, listening to a Scottish folk song, the line was in there about they laid him on the green. But she misheard it. She thought they said something about Lady Mondegreens, whoever that might be. And a word was born for misheard lyrics. Now, with my grandchildren, especially, I used to do this thing. This is a shark, okay? This shark would, of course, tickle them. And I would sing bits of Mac the Knife with it. Oh, the shark bites with his teeth. I think of my granddaughter, Brianna, who is no longer with us every time I think of that. But I think of that particularly because of a mondegreen, oddly enough. No, it's not a mondegreen to Mac the Knife. It's a mondegreen to a Pat Benatar song. Hit me with your best shot. Except, I read where a lady believed for years that Pat Benatar had been singing Hit Me With Your Pet Shark. And this is the thing, these are funny because we see the mistake and you think the mistake should be obvious, Bad Moon Rising from Creedence Clearwater Revival. There was a woman who for years thought that had a different lyric. Found out because she had bought a new home and she was having a housewarming party, and one of her guests asked where the bathroom was. And she pointed down the hall and sang, "There's a bathroom on the right." Uh-oh. That's not the right lyric. Now, I bring this up. There is a website. And some of these Mondegreens will literally make you laugh until you fall out of your chair. They are hilarious. The website is called kissthisguy.com. The name of the website comes from a Mondegreen. The guy that started the website admits it's a mondegreen of his own. He was listening to Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. And of course, if you know the song, you know Purple Haze is in my brain. Lately, things don't seem the same. You got me going, but I don't know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Except he thought Jimmy said, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy." So there's where the name of the website came from. That always makes it easy for me to remember because I'm a Hendrix fan. But I'm going to recommend visiting that website if you like Mondegreens, because, and even if you don't like Mondegreens, you'll learn to if you see a few of those. It gets downright hilarious. And he has, I think, thousands of them on there. Oh boy. There are tons and tons and tons of them. And they're generally assorted, or sorted, not assorted. They're generally sorted by the artist who made the song, sometimes originally, sometimes covers, because sometimes the covers are more famous than the original. I'm listening again to my reactors. I've seen several of the reactors who have reacted to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, God Bless the Child. Not one of them was bothered to mention that that's actually a Billie Holiday song. And the Blood, Sweat, and Tears was a cover. But so sometimes I'll be with another artist than besides the original because a cover is better known. And that's happened a lot of times in the music industry. But those Mondegreens are a great source of humor. And most of them really, when you think about it, they come out as kind of a pun. And I've always loved puns. And here again, my late great-granddaughter Brianna was also a big fan of puns. Gee, I wonder why. With me for a grandpa. But anyway. Anyway, Mondegreens are kind of like a pun, so maybe next time we'll talk a little more about puns, or maybe we'll get into something else. You never know. I might get crazy and decide to look at some art, or talk about a play, or a movie, or who knows? Because this channel isn't about any one thing, but yet it is. The one thing it's about is trying to help you enjoy your life a little more.